Official World Cup match tickets are going for upwards of $11,000, with resale reaching as high as $2 million. These outrageous prices led New York and New Jersey to launch investigations into FIFA just weeks before the games are set to begin. Attorneys General Letitia James of New York and Jennifer Davenport of New Jersey released a statement today announcing they have subpoenaed FIFA, seeking information about its ticketing practices for the 8 World Cup matches set to take place in New Jersey.
What a disaster. We are 10 days away from the start of the World Cup, which is supposedly the most popular sporting event in the world. People are willing to hop on their camel and travel thousands of miles for the opportunity to see anonymous faces and hard to pronounce names kick a ball around grass for 90 minutes. In the months and years leading up to the 2026 World Cup in America, FIFA made a promise to host cities that they would deliver a once-in-a-lifetime event. Start preparing now. Hire massive staff. Increase your prices for hotels. This event is gonna be huge! Hotels, bars, restaurants, the hospitality industry in host cities. They believed the projections that they were given by FIFA, and they increased their staff. They prepared to serve millions of people who were traveling to their city to watch soccer, or as FIFA prefers to call it, football. There was just one problem, one tiny problem. FIFA failed to understand that Americans don't give a shit about soccer, and they drastically overvalued themselves. Headline at The Athletic: thousands of tickets remain available for USA World Cup opener. You know, here in the next year or so, once the child graduates from high school, me and the wife are going to be selling the house. Part of me is hesitant about moving because I love my backyard studio. This studio is a marriage saver. My wife works at home. She's on the phone all day. Uncle KC needs complete silence. Plus, every man needs a space to call their own. I have my 400 square foot studio in the backyard, and my wife has the entire house to herself during the day. My wife, she wants to be closer to her family, plus we just need to upgrade houses. Obviously, I will build another studio, but when we met with the realtor a while back, she discussed the importance of pricing the house properly. You don't want to be too low, but it's extremely important not to be too high. If you overvalue the house, it sits on the market too long, and over time, the price naturally declines. It is abundantly clear FIFA has overestimated the demand for soccer in America. Like I told you guys before, money is usually not a deterrent when it comes to experiences. If you look at the amount of debt in this country, Americans are not afraid to go into debt in order to make lifelong memories. Last year, Taylor Swift. Hey, it's me, Swiftie! Last year, Taylor Swift sold out her tour in minutes. Millions of Swifters paid an average of $3,000 per ticket to watch their princess perform. Uncle KC would not pay 3,000 pesos to see the Swiffer. The only Swiffer that has any value to me is the mop that my wife uses to clean the house. But for millions of incredibly lonely women, they were willing to pay $3,000 to be surrounded by like-minded women and be validated in their loneliness. Ticket prices for Taylor Swift are similar to what FIFA is charging for the World Cup. Now, keep in mind, the World Cup in America is very rare. Taylor Swift tours damn near every year. World Cup hasn't been held in America since the mid-90s. Now, with that being the case, you would think every stadium would be sold out. But Uncle KC is about to show you why ticket sales for the World Cup are in the pooper. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be talking about the chaos this weekend in the People's Republic of California. There was a heated confrontation in the People's Republic as A.B. Hernandez made history by dominating girls' track and field. Somehow, there were two first-place finishers in each event that A.B. Hernandez dominated. I wonder why. I'll give you all the details, so if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. As of now, the vast majority of the World Cup is going to be played in half-empty stadiums. It will look like your typical regular season game in the WNBA dump. Even games hosted in Canada are struggling to sell out. According to the CBC, the cheapest ticket for the World Cup in Canada is just over $1,000. Canadian soccer fans, they are going through the traumatic decision of paying rent or going to the World Cup. Let me show you why the World Cup is struggling. Take a look at this report from YouGov. Now, as you can see, the overwhelming majority of Americans have no interest in the World Cup. Uncle KC, almost 40% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 44 are interested in this exciting event. Who cares about those boomers? Who cares about those old people? The youth of America have fallen in love with real football. You know, for sports leagues, it's good to have a young audience. You want to have young people watching. You want them to develop an emotional attachment to your league. If you capture their attention young, you have a dedicated fan for life. But here's the problem. When you have a premium event like the World Cup and people over the age of 45 have zero interest in your event, you know what older men have that younger men don't have? Money, disposable income. At 41 years old, I have a hell of a lot more money than I did at 21. At 21, I'm struggling to buy a pack of cigarettes the day before payday. I was putting together loose change just to buy a 6-pack of Natural Light. At 41, if I had any interest in the World Cup, I could afford to buy tickets. Problem is, I have no interest. And clearly, I am not the only one. Check this out. This shows the prices Americans are willing to pay to go to the World Cup. Now, this data matches the age demographics of the people interested in the event. As you can see, young people interested in the World Cup, they're willing to pay between $100 and $300 for tickets. For young men, that is a lot of money. $300 is a lot of money for a 24-year-old dude who is living paycheck to paycheck. But look at the percentage of people willing to pay over $1,000 for tickets. 1%. To make matters worse, 94% of the people with no interest in the World Cup, which consist of older men with enough money to pay the exorbitant prices for these tickets, 94% are unwilling to give FIFA a single peso. Is it any wonder why thousands of tickets are still available? The United States opener against Paraguay, 10,000 seats are still available. Ticket prices have dropped 6% in the last 3 weeks. For England, a country who is very passionate about soccer, ticket prices for their game in Dallas have dropped 20%. If you're traveling from England, tickets are now selling for just over $800. Back in the 90s, which was the last time the World Cup was here in America, the average ticket was $50, which is around $100 in today's money. Today, FIFA is asking 10 times that amount. Ticket prices are 7 times higher than they were in Qatar 4 years ago. But Uncle KC, people are paying thousands of dollars for the NBA Finals. Some tickets in Madison Square Garden are selling for 5 figures. Yeah, if the Finals goes 6 games and Game 6 is in Madison Square Garden, I would not be surprised to see tickets over $100,000. The NBA can get away with it because there is major demand for basketball, especially in New York City. But there is minimal demand for soccer in America. When we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I thought the World Cup would eventually sell out. I thought FIFA would come to their senses and lower ticket prices. Unfortunately, that does not appear to be the case. I don't think FIFA cares. If 60,000 tickets are available for one game and they sell half those tickets on average $1,500 a ticket, FIFA is making $45 million off that one game. FIFA doesn't care if the stadium's half empty. It's not like they're going back. Once the World Cup is over, they move on to the next country. FIFA can exploit diehard soccer fans knowing they will pay these exorbitant prices. But who is really affected by this is the hospitality industry in host cities. 80% of the hotels in host cities are running significantly behind their initial projections. There is minimal demand for Airbnbs near the stadium. People could literally walk to the World Cup, but kind of hard to do that when there are no people in the house. Now, in FIFA's defense, there is still time. World Cup doesn't start, I believe, until June 11th. FIFA has time to adjust their pricing, but I think the main problem here with the World Cup, there is minimal interest. I guess FIFA thought with America being the wealthiest country in the world, millions of Americans would be willing to vastly overpay for tickets. But as they are quickly finding out, the vast majority of Americans, they're not willing to pay at all. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.